Workshops. Overview.
Every farmer carries out repairs, so a workshop of some sort is required. The size and complexity depends on the nature of your farm enterprise, your aptitude and skill when it comes to maintenance and repair work, and the availability of repair services in your locality.
It's a question of matching your workshop with the requirements of your farm. In other words, your workshop should make good business sense. Also, ask yourself, do you use your workshop mainly for breakdowns or doing routine maintenance tasks? If a lot of breakdowns are occurring, and if your machinery is in a poor state of repair, it's an indication of a high injury risk. Remember, when doing repair or maintenance work, it's a high-risk time for injury, so high safety vigilance is required in workshops and wherever repairs are carried out. Machines may need to be repaired by trained mechanics from your local farm machinery dealership. You have a responsibility to ensure that they have safe working conditions. Show a little help and courtesy to those trying to solve your machinery problems. Construction. Now let's take a look at a workshop to see how it should be designed and organised. Space is the single most crucial aspect of a workshop design. To work safely, you need at least 2 meters around a machine. Doors must be high enough for entry of modern equipment. Floors must not become slippery. Even when damp, a wooden float finish is ideal. Fireproof materials only should be used for construction. These include concrete, steel and non-asbestos fibre cement sheeting. Solid walls are required to support toolboards, shelves and to anchor benches. These, along with workshop equipment, should be located at the outside of the workshop, with toolboards located near benches. Good lighting is essential for a workshop. Supplementary lighting may be necessary for some machine tools. Injury occurs most frequently in underheated workshops, so a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius should be maintained. Maintaining your workshop in safe working condition is crucial to prevent accidents. Slippery surfaces due to oil or grease should be cleaned up immediately. Accidents due to trips and falls can be prevented by tidying the workshop on an ongoing basis. Working platforms with hand support are required for working at heights. Having good hygiene facilities is essential for any major farm workshop. These include washing, drying and toilet facilities. Use gloves or a barrier cream before work. Use hand cleanser to remove heavy oils or contamination. Never use solvent thinner as they degrease the skin and cause dermatitis. You should note that mechanics have a high level of testicular cancer due to poor hygiene practices. Lastly, it's your responsibility to control access to your workshop. Access should be limited to persons at work in the workshop. Signs.
There are many potential hazards in a farm workshop. Having an array of signs warns you of these hazards and keeps you aware of the dangers.
Fire safety. Fire is primarily prevented by keeping flammable materials like fuels, oil, paint, thinners, solvents or grease in an isolated ventilated store. Stringent regulations apply to the storage of petrol. A workshop is no place to have these highly dangerous materials. Fuel tanks should be bunded. This means that a container must be present to contain 110% of the volume of the tank should a spillage or a fire occur. Cleaning cloth or paper has the potential to catch fire by spontaneous combustion, so use steel bins for storage and dispose of regularly. Airborne dust can ignite and cause an explosion. This is a hazard when repairs are being carried out in grain stores or mills. Ventilation or use of an industrial cleaner should be used to reduce dust level. Of course, workshops are strictly no smoking areas. Suitable fire extinguishers, a fire bucket filled with sand and a fire blanket must be readily accessible in a workshop. Electricity. Electricity in a farm workshop should conform to the up-to-date ETCI wiring specifications. Particular requirements relevant to a workshop include: for portable hand lamps, an electrical supply of 25 volts AC maximum must be used. An individual circuit must supply an arc welder using 32 amp plugs and sockets. Where repairs are being carried out in damp locations, use of a low voltage transformer is mandatory. Personal protective equipment. Make sure that personal protective equipment used in workshops meets an adequate standard for the job. EU specifications marked on the item give you guidance on this. Burn points. The best practice is to wait for the burn point hazard to cool down, and always take extreme care not to come into contact with the hazard. Power tools. Power tools such as angle grinders, bench grinders and drills have the power to inflict serious injury in seconds. Before use, make sure that the power tool is in a safe operating condition, with all the guards in place. Secure the piece being worked on by clamping in a vise. With angle grinders, make sure the correct disc is being used and is properly fitted. Never force the disc at the metal or allow the disc to be trapped in the workpiece. This will cause the disc to break and the angle grinder to kick back. Lifting equipment. Machinery collapse is a big cause of workshop injuries, so correct use of lifting equipment is crucial. Lifting equipment should always be checked before use. The safe working load, or SWL, in tons or kilograms must be clearly marked on equipment. The SWL must never be exceeded. Any lifting equipment, such as pulley blocks and slings, should be tested by a competent person before it is brought into use. A certificate of examination must be obtained. The equipment should be re-examined by a competent person at least every 14 months, or in the case of slings, every 6 months. Always secure equipment before jacking. For example, when jacking a tractor or a combine, place the transmission in gear and apply the handbrake. Trolley or bottle type jacks should only be used to lift an object. Support should always be provided before work is undertaken. This could be an axle stand or railway sleeper sections. Concrete blocks of any type should never be used to support equipment. Welding. Welding is a job that requires skill, so the key message is to get suitable training. Once you are trained, you can apply your skill in a safe and efficient manner. For electric arc welding, make sure the equipment is in safe working condition. This applies particularly to the real earth. This is the green-yellow wire in the main supply and gives safety in the event of a short circuit. Also, it's important to check the terminal screws in the mains plug, as these get loose due to repeated heating and cooling. Check the welding cables regularly for fraying. Wear a full set of personal protective equipment to cover all skin parts, and use the right filter in a face shield to protect against UV radiation. This can burn the retina of the eye and lead to blindness. Compressed air or tires. Air compressors can operate at a pressure of 150 psi or more, and can explode if not maintained. This can arise due to a crack in the compressor tank or a faulty safety valve. An inspection is required by a competent person every 24 months. When releasing a bayonet-type air coupling, stand to one side and grip the flexible hose close to the coupling and release with the other hand. This will prevent the coupling flying and causing serious injury. When pumping a tyre, a high-quality pressure gauge should always be used to prevent a tyre from bursting due to excessive pressure. When inflating a tyre fitted to a split rim, always use a safety cage. Numerous deaths have occurred due to being struck by a split rim. To work safely in a farm workshop and to do repairs, you need a lot of knowledge and skill. This is gained by attending training courses and carefully reading the instruction manuals for workshop equipment and PPE. Workshop safety needs your action. An information booklet and checklist is available to help you focus on what action is required. Remember that a workshop needs to be well managed to give a safe working environment. Make sure that workshop equipment used is in safe working condition, and that safe work practices are always used.